Oh yeah, that's what I want. Turn it off, cover it up, and cook some rice. Get ready for deer meat like you've never had it before. It is going to be succulent and juicy, and you're going to love it, I promise. Need to get this meat trimmed up, so I'm going to just take a little time and cut away as much of the fat off of it as possible. I don't like to leave any of this on my deer meat when I cook it. A good fillet knife is the best thing to trim deer meat with, is what I have found that works best for me, and I've been doing this for many years, so it's probably good advice. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Louisiana Homestead. Today I'm going to be cooking a deer roast, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it, so I hope you'll come along. Okay, I'm going to call that pretty good for that, and I'm going to mix up some garlic. Now I'm going to cut up some garlic so I can have that to stuff that roast with. I'm just going to get this peeled and chopped up kind of little where I can stuff it in there in that roast easily. I'm going to add some olive oil to that. Salt. Red pepper, black pepper, and I'm going to do some onion powder. Kind of work it into that garlic as best as I can. Okay, and I'm going to set this on the side. Bring the roast back. And we are going to start cutting some little holes like that. And we're going to place our garlic into those holes. So we're just going to do several holes all over the roast and stuff garlic into them. Seasoned, oiled garlic is what I'm using. You use what you like. Use the seasonings you like. To me, I find the garlic, this does best for us. This is what we like. We all like a lot of garlic here, and highly seasoned foods as well. So I'm going to just go all around and fill this sucker up. Now, not only do I have garlic down in there, I got some salt and pepper down in there too. It's going to make for some very tasty meat. Alright, I got a little bit of this stuff left in this bowl, and I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to take it out, and I'm just going to rub it on here like that. And there's a little bit left. I'm going to get it too. No need to waste it, that's for sure. And it smells so good, that just the seasoning by itself. Need to rub some of it in there. Okay, now we're going to take this to the pot and brown it. It's going to be bursting with flavor, so get ready for that. Okay, you may have guessed I'm going to be using this big black pot. It's got a lid that fits on it. But right now I'm just putting some regular vegetable oil in the bottom of it to heat up. Spread that oil around. Our oil is hot enough, so let's get this roast into this Dutch oven. Alright, let's see if we can turn this. Okay, it's getting nice and brown. Alright, it's been cooking about 5 minutes on that side. I'm going to flip it, and I want to try to get this side of it this time. See, when your fork gets stuck like that, use another fork to pull it out of there. Okay, we're going to do that. I'm going to let it brown on that side now. Alright, now this side needs a little browning, so I'm going to turn it on that side. Want to get some onions cut up to go in there also. So I'll do 2 onions. I'm going to dice them. This is some strong onions, y'all. They got me crying. They are strong. Every now and then we get some strong onions here. Make you tear right up. I had to go wipe the tears off my face. Whew. I'm going to add to this some of the bell peppers that we picked in the garden last summer and froze. So let's get those into this bowl as well. So that's 2 yellow onions, and this is probably the equivalent of about a bell pepper and a half. Of course, these are mixed peppers from my garden, but you could use some bell peppers from the store if that's what you've got. And these are going to be browned. This is as brown as I'm going to get this. It is browned on all sides as much as possible. I'm going to take it out now, and I'm going to put my onions and peppers into this pot. I had the pot turned off for a little while. I just want to loosen up any brown part that's on the bottom so I don't have any burnt flavors. That's just oil and juice from the meat. When the heat comes back up, I'm going to add the onions and bell peppers right down into it. We've got the pot and the oil reheated. We're just going to add the onions and peppers right in there. Gonna add some salt on top of them just to help the cooking process go a little faster. And it looks like it could use a little oil. You see that, how the pot looks a little dry on the bottom? I'm gonna add a little more cooking oil. That was olive oil this time, not for any particular reason, I just had it handy. Okay, and to start it out and make it go quicker, I'm going to put the lid on it. And I'll come back and check it in about 5 minutes. All right, guys, let's take a little peek and see what's going on inside this pot. Okay, they are smothering down some. They're softening up. That's exactly what we want. Okay, good. We're going to let it go a little bit longer, but I think I'm going to leave the lid off now. I'm going to let those onions cook down till I get them to where I want them. They're going to be nice and soft and kind of caramelized. In the meantime, I want to season this piece of meat. To do that, I'm going to use black pepper, red pepper, soy sauce, Worcestershire sauce, garlic powder, and onion powder. I like to use these 2 for my salt because they have flavor and not just salt. And I'm going to do this to all the sides of it. Now you use whatever seasonings you like. These are the ones we like. I'm just adding a little mixture of olive oil and water actually to this as well. Kind of help keep it moisturized and help the seasoning to stick to it. This deer meat is not going to be dry at all. Okay, there we go. I'm going to bake this at 350. Let that heat up. While that's heating up, we're going to position our meat back into our pot. I am going to be baking this, but you know what? You could definitely cook this in a slow cooker. I just wanted to do it in the oven today. One day we'll do it in the slow cooker. And I'm going to just add this juice onto it that came off of the plate. And there's a lot of seasoning on there too, and I want all of that. I don't want any of it to waste. I paid for all these ingredients and I want them to be on this roast. I'm gonna add a little water into the bottom of it to help it cook and steam and not dry out. So I have it about maybe a quarter or a third of the way on the meat there. It's not fully submerged. And I'm going to be checking it in about an hour once I get it into the oven. So that's all there is to this part. I'm just kind of loosening up any little brownings that might be on the bottom of the pot. Going through, getting any little thing that might be kind of stuck down there. And that's going to help to make my gravy a more beautiful color. You know, we eat with our eyes too. We don't want white or clear gravy. We like a brown gravy here. And so that's what I'm working to do, is get more flavor into this roast and more color into it. And I am finding some little spots there that's kind of stuck, so I'm able to get those up. You know what I should have did was cleared off the bottom of this pot before I put this roast down in there, but that's okay. I can use my fork to lift it up to get under there. Okay, it looks very good already actually. So I'm going to put the lid on it. Okay. And as soon as the oven is preheated, I'm going to slide that whole thing right into the oven. I'm going to let it cook for about an hour. I'm going to put my timer on and I'm going to come back and check it. And I'll probably at that time turn it over. So I'll meet you back here at that time. You might say, well, you sure are going through a lot of trouble browning this meat and doing the onions ahead of time. Why didn't you just throw it all in the pot and into the oven? Because it makes a lot more flavor like this. If you brown the meat, it makes a lot more flavor. If you brown the onions, it makes a lot more flavor. So that's why I took the time to go through these extra little steps just to make the meal a lot more tasty. So now we're gonna have a lot better and tasty meal. That's what I think. Okay guys, so I wanted to let y'all know that I added some of this celery seed in there. This packs a lot of flavor and it goes good in these kind of gravies, like for deer or chicken, beef, all of that. So I had forgot to add that and I wanted to let y'all know because I did go back and put a little bit into the gravy of that roast. All right, guys, there she goes. She's in the oven. I'll meet you back here in an hour. It's an hour later. Let's take a look at this roast. See how far we are. I know we're not done, but I want to see how my water level is and how tender it may or may not be. Okay, it's cooking good. I don't feel anything sticking at the bottom. You see how it's getting a little dry right there? I'm gonna go on ahead and flip it over. And my fork's not coming out of it easy at all, so I know it's not tender enough. When that fork comes out of there real easy, you see it still holds on when I do that. It is not tender enough. So I'm gonna put the lid on it and put it back in the oven. I know it's going to take a while to get it tender, so I'm going to leave it another hour and I'll come back and check it again. As far as the water level in it, it was fine, so I'm going to let it stay like that for now. Okay, let's see what we got. Alright, this has been in here 2 hours now. It's still got plenty gravy. It is getting a little dry on top again. Let's flip it over again. And let's check for tenderness. It's not coming out quick enough for me. It needs to cook some more. So I'm gonna let it go, believe it or not, another hour. But this time I'm gonna add some water into it. Okay, so that's it. I'm gonna cover it back up and put it back in the oven. Alright, let's see what we got. Ooh, it's really cooking down. I'm glad I added that extra water. Good call on that. As you can see, it's getting dry on this side again. I need to flip it again. It is definitely getting more tender. I can feel that too. Ooh, yeah, look, it's starting to tear apart. It is definitely getting more tender, but it's just about doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it up a little bit so the gravy can get over every surface of the meat. Oh yeah, it's nice and tender, y'all. Oh, look at that. It just broke right there. Awesome. Oh yes. Gravy to cover all those surfaces. Make it nice and juicy, please. Thank you. All right. Deer meat does have a tendency to be dry, so I'm making a little extra effort here to make it moist. Ooh, it smells so good. I can smell that garlic in there. It's sure cutting pretty easy, I tell you. Okay. Alright, now we're cooking with Crisco, people. I'm not really cooking with Crisco, it's just a saying. Alright, now, alright, a little tender test and see how easy this stuff breaks apart. Got a little piece of fat holding it there. Even though it is very tender. Let me taste this. I think I'm going to add just a small amount of water to this, just to help cover it a little bit. And I'm going to put it back in the oven for a little bit longer, just to let it get a little bit more tender. So I'm going to cover it back up, and it's going to go back in.
What you going to do if somebody messes up your video? Yeah.
Okay, here is our finished product coming out of the oven. I say finished, I may thicken it up a little bit, but I just want to look at the tenderness of it. Oh yeah, that's what I want right there. That's what I want right there. You see that? It just breaks apart. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, very good. Now the gravy's a little thin for what I like it. So what I'm gonna do is use my beloved cornstarch to thicken it up just a little bit. So let's do that. Okay, I'm gonna use about a half a cup of cold water. Into that, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of cornstarch. You never want to put cornstarch into hot water or it will be a nightmare. You'll never get the clumps out of it. Always use cold water when you're doing this. That's why I didn't just add the cornstarch right into the hot gravy, because that would have been a nightmare. It dissolves very nicely like this, and I only used a half a cup because I don't want to add a lot of liquid to my finished gravy. So this isn't going to add any flavor to it. It's just going to help to thicken it up. Okay, I've got this on top of the stove. I'm going to turn it on up here, and I'm going to get it boiling. It isn't going to take long. See, it's already starting to boil because I just pulled it out of the oven. With the same spoon that I mixed my cornstarch with. Okay, so here's my cornstarch mixed up. I just want to make sure it's not sitting at the bottom, because it does settle pretty quick in this cold liquid. Just going to pour that right in like that and stir it up some. You see how it got all shiny and pretty? And I'm going to bring it back up to a boil. And I'm going to let it cook for 1 minute, and then I'm going to turn it off. And it's starting to thicken up already. Cornstarch works so good for this. We used to use flour to thicken our gravies when you would start the gravy out. But I find that it would stick sometimes and make your gravy stick. And when you're cooking something like this for such a long time, you really have a good chance of it sticking. So the cornstarch is the better option, in my opinion, for this. And it is thickening up. I need to turn this down. It's popping all over. So I want to taste this too and see if I need to add any seasoning to it. Okay, it's seasoned perfectly. And I got me a new spoon. It tastes very good. It thickened up very good. It's almost been a minute, so I'm going to turn it off, cover it up, and cook some rice. It thickened up good. It was a lot thinner than that. I don't want it to be too thick. It's just perfectly thick for what I want. So it's very nice. Beautiful color too. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. Put the lid on. I'm going to be serving mine over rice because we eat a lot of rice and we like rice and gravy. You could serve yours over mashed potatoes if you like that, or you also could make sandwiches with this stuff. It would be very good for that too. It'd be kind of like a roast beef sandwich, and I've done that many times. Take that tender meat, pull it apart, do a little onion sliced thinly on the side, and kind of saute those and make you a sandwich with that with some mayonnaise and lettuce and tomatoes. It is delicious. We've had that many times. So you could do that with yours too. That's just another idea. It's a versatile dish. I want to thank you all for watching. I really enjoyed you spending some time with me. I hope you might have learned a little something. I hope you'll share, like, and subscribe. Until next time. Bye.